Hi, thank you for your interest in my poster entitled Toxicological Reference Data for 6 to 9 month male and female Sinclair nanopigs. My name is Kaileigh McGinley. I'm a principal scientist with the Safety Assessment Group in Columbia, Missouri, and I will give you a brief overview of my poster. So the use of miniature swine in safety assessment studies has grown in popularity over the past decade as the industry aims to minimize the use of canines and primates in support of the 3R initiatives. While there is considerable data for several breeds of miniature swine widely available to the research community, much of the data obtained from the Sinclair nanopig is proprietary to the organizations utilizing the model. The Sinclair nanopig is comparable to the well-established breeds, such as Yucatan and Gottingen mini pigs, in terms of physiology and metabolism, but is more similar in body weight to the Beagle dog when maintained on a high-fiber, low-fat diet. This provides an advantage in using the Sinclair nanopig in that less test article is required for IND-enabling studies compared to the Beagle dog or the Gottingen mini pig. The current poster presents reference data including body weight, hematology, serum chemistry, electrocardiography, ophthalmology, macroscopic tissue observations, and microscopic pathology for the Sinclair nanopig at ages that correlate to most common ages used in safety assessment studies. These data are critical for toxicologists and pharmacologists as a reference for normal variation among animal models used in non-clinical drug development. The goal of this poster is to expand upon the standard reference data for the Sinclair nanopig available to the entire research community. So miniature swine is a viable option as a non-rodent test system for studies to evaluate the safety and efficacy of new biopharmaceuticals. It has long been understood that pigs have many anatomical, physiological, and functional similarities to humans, and miniature swine are easy to manage in a laboratory setting. There are several lineages of miniature swine that are purpose-bred for biomedical research. The Hormel Institute developed the Sinclair miniature swine in 1949. This lineage is also known as the Minnesota mini pig or Hormel mini pig, and is one of the background lineages used to develop the Gottingen mini pigs. The Sinclair nanopig was created from the Sinclair miniature swine, or Sinclair S1, through a concerted effort that involved selective breeding for smaller size and controlled feeding of a high-fiber, low-fat mini pig diet. This resulted in a miniature swine model comparable in body weight to a Beagle dog, which mitigates previous challenges associated with utilizing swine models for standard preclinical studies, namely the amount of test article needed for IND-enabling studies. Downsizing the Sinclair S1 did not involve any genetic manipulations to the lineage. Thus, the background data established for the Sinclair S1 miniature swine remains highly relevant for the downsized Sinclair nanopig. However, as the request for Sinclair nanopig in non-clinical drug development continues to increase, it remains ever important to continue to generate a robust database of background data in the Sinclair nanopig itself. So in this poster, we have hematology data for male and female nanopigs at ages of 2 to 3 months, 4 to 5 months, 6 to 7 months, and 8 to 9 months that can be used for reference data when comparing to data generated in preclinical studies. In addition, we have serum chemistry data at the same ages for male and female Sinclair nanopigs, ophthalmology findings that are common in these Sinclair nanopigs, as well as ECG parameters that are typically observed in Sinclair nanopigs as background findings. We also have pathology findings that were observed in male and female Sinclair nanopigs that can be used to rule out any background findings when compared to test article related findings in IND-enabling studies. In conclusion, this data demonstrates consistency in the background data within the Sinclair S1 lineage after downsizing the animal to the nanopig. Comparison with data from other miniature swine lineages demonstrates that the Sinclair nanopig is a viable option when considering a miniature swine model for safety assessment studies and is comparable with other commonly used lineages. The weight of the Sinclair nanopig is closer to a beagle dog, especially when adjusted for age to match when sexual maturity begins, and the age at which dosing for IND-enabling studies most often occurs.